So I've got an interesting guest coming up for the first time, Gail Lynn. She's going to be
good.
talking about this harmonic egg,
Yeah.
These energy
Yeah,
healing
I've been-
devices.
yeah, uh-huh.
You know about this?
She's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's the real deal.
Yeah.
You can feel a difference there, and the difference stays with you throughout the course of your time. You can feel a palpable difference by being in the egg. It's a beautiful experience.
Well, let's bring her in, and we'll try not to make any Mork for Mork jokes. Too late. Already did one. Gail Lynn, welcome to the Robert Scott Bell Show. Apparently,
Hi, thank you.
David knows about it.
Uh-huh.
I'm surprised. I mean, it just seems to be exploding everywhere. I don't even know what I created. It's so fun.
Well, my experience in life, and I wasn't aware of all of this stuff growing up. I wasn't in a homeopathic family. I was in a pharmaceutical family. So it was all about chemistry and chemicals and drugs. And then finding out that the healing that I have received and achieved really has been the energetics of the universe, the life force, the vital force we talk about as homeopaths now. And there are technologies that are emerging that I hesitate, and you could tell me this, Gail, is it new or is it old, right? I know
It's
that
old.
technology
It's
is
ancient.
new, but tell me about how that combines into a modern kind of thing where you can step into an egg and get it. And what is it?
Yeah, no, it's ancient because I studied Edgar Cayce, Wilhelm Reich, Royal Rife. I've been studying Nikola Tesla, Tesla mathematics, just geeking out. I'm an engineer from Detroit. Then I went into telecom, then I went into Hollywood, and I crashed. Just like most healers, I crashed. I was super sick, all kinds of medical problems. The medical community couldn't help me. And this epiphany came to me. If we're vibrational beings of light from source energy, from God, why aren't we healing with sound and light? And it was just this
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
craziness. And then an egg is where life comes from. And so then I started putting together what Edgar Cayce said. If you can bring together the spiritual forces of sound, the spiritual forces of light, it can be a great modality for the future. So I put them together. Then I put them together with WAV files, not MP3 files. MP3 files are compressed and
They're
cold
digital,
and clinical. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I put together WAV files, and then I started bringing together musicians who had a high heart energy, just beautiful souls, to create this music with the waveforms of instruments that affect the organs and systems of our bodies. Not necessarily the frequencies, but the waveforms of instruments. So I put this together, and I was doing it for myself. I thought, oh, this would be real fun. And I had manufacturers telling me, you can't do this. It can't be made, because I wanted it to be wood, no Wi-Fi, no plastic, no metal, no Bluetooth. And so they said, it can't be done. And I said, well, excuse me, but Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it.
Yeah, that's back in the day is right. And so, I was going to ask you about this idea of getting in like this egg shape, which is unique in terms of the starting point of life. It seems to be a universal kind of, not just a symbol, but a reality. And, I would look at something like this and I'm thinking on a movie set, they probably make it out of styrofoam, right? But you're talking about having a functional thing people can get in and out of that will have sustainability. It doesn't fall apart, break. And yet so much here, I think I see one of these visuals. It's got that egg shape. It's got so you're actually saying that you're not making this with plastic?
It's made with wood, because wood is an earth element. We want to be surrounded by forest bathing, by nature. So wood has great acoustics for the instruments. And so everything was built like the Taj Mahal with intention. And so it became this beautiful expression of a healing chamber for people to go in for 40 minutes of music, 10 minutes of silence. And the silence is where the magic happens. We don't spend enough time in silence. So we created this beautiful expression for people to go in and just be with themselves, listen to their bodies. They don't need to run to a doctor and say, what's wrong with me? What do I take? We need to say, what's wrong with me? What do I do? And so you can go in there,
Right.
and you can be, you can be with yourself, and you can have those feelings in your body and know what's going on. We have so much trauma and so much illness from emotions.
Right.
We just need to learn. And one of my brand attributes, I love what you guys are saying, is love. The first brand attribute of my business is love. And we have egg guardians. So they're egg guardians.
That's cute.
And
what
so
about, what about your engineering buddies? I mean, looking at you with squirrely eyes going, what happened to you? I don't know what engineers are supposed to look like, but you don't look like one.
I get to talk to the engineers about the Tesla mathematics and all the different planes that it had to cross to create this and with that type of shape.
Hmm.
And we geek out on it. We really do. It's super fun.
Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. I like the story. Now, had you ever been in one of those I don't know what they call them, like water-based isolation tanks where you float,
A
like
float
float
tank.
Yeah,
tanks?
float tanks. Yeah,
Mhm.
Now, is
flotation.
it a similar concept, or tell me how it's related or not?
So you don't have to get wet and get into water, which is
Mhm.
great because a lot of people know that water holds information and energy. And so a lot of people they shy away from that because they know that that water is holding information maybe from the last client. And
They don't think
so,
about clearing that energy each time. Perhaps they're
right,
missing that.
right.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
everything's energy.
Hmm.
So inside of the large wooden egg, wood is antiseptic properties. Wood doesn't hold information and energy. And so wood can be free and clear. And so I love the wood concept. People do love the float tanks. There is no one size fits all. We have to decide what works for us. It might be massage and harmonic egg. It might be acupuncture and float tanks, but we need to have that health freedom, as we can say, to
Yes.
choose what non-invasive modalities are going to work for our body type. I'm an O blood type, so I'm a meat eater.
Mm.
I like my meat, but I don't judge anybody for the type of modality that they choose to heal from.
Yeah, I'm
My
O as well, but
neighbor,
I'm here and I'm enjoying the food anyway. It's no
yeah,
problem. And Dave's
absolutely.
been nice to me every time I come in. He's awesome.
I love it. And I
You
love
yeah,
chocolate.
you would be
And I will
welcome
be
here
in
too.
Sedona. I'll be in
Oh, you
Oh,
got to
good.
go to the
Sedona.
chocolate
Oh,
tree,
good.
your daughter's
Absolutely. Yeah,
place. That
absolutely.
would be amazing. When are you going
We're
to be there?
filming a
Are you going to do it?
documentary. We fly in on the 10th. We film a documentary the 11th and the 12th at the World Research Foundation with Stephen Ross. He's going to be part of the documentary. We're going to talk about food as medicine, music as medicine, and more love and kindness. I know
Nice.
this might sound cliche, but I think love heals all. I love the Beatles. And we feel like disease lives in fear.
Hmm.
That's
And
right.
if you can rise above that and spend more time in love and gratitude, I think we'll see less disease in the world. So
Yeah.
that's really what I try to educate people on. And I try to stay in that place as well. And it's not easy living on the earth plane.
No, it's not. I mean, when you talk about the story I mentioned about this Amos Miller, this farmer, and you realize, man, that's a harsh reality. Like, think about that. All he's trying to do is produce good, clean food for a community that wants it. There's no deception, there's no coercion.
That's right.
And yet you have entities, we call them government or whatever, acting against that freedom. That's so fundamentally, if I can say right and wrong, it's as obvious as that can get. Right.
Exactly.
There could be subtleties and gray areas of stuff that people are. This is not that. Yet, as much as we also, I think, are obligated to defend our freedom, what you're talking about, and also what we'd also talk about, is that bringing that love can overwhelm and kind of melt away some of these obstacles.
That's right.
And I don't know how to define it mathematically. Maybe you do. But there's a reality that we have some harshness, a lot, in fact, on this earthly plane. It's very difficult. At the same time, folks like you, like David, bringing this love in, it's transformative in a way that may not be calculable necessarily, but I sense it, I feel it, and I feel like even covering these stories, I'm doing a lot of these new technologies or old new technologies and bringing them out to say we don't have to look to them for the answers or solutions. We have access to them, and we just got to start sharing it with each other.
That's right.
That's exactly right. And I think that vibration of love, it's infectious, if you will. So one person loves and another person loves. And I love Wayne Dyer. He was my first guru that
Mm.
I would listen to. And when you change the way you see things, the things you see will change. So sometimes if you can see things that maybe they don't look good to you, if you see them in a different way and see how you can send love to them
Mhm.
and send gratitude to them. And so I spread my love glitter everywhere. And glitter's hard to get off. So glitter just sticks everywhere. And I
Yes.
hug the cashiers at the grocery stores. And people ask me, can I hug you? And during COVID, people said, "Can I hug you?" I was totally not living in any fear.
Nice.
Didn't really want to wear a mask, but you had to. And I kept my business open. I put the close sign up, and people could still come in. And I would just tell them the close sign is up, but you can come in. Had the city call me a couple times, and I
Mm.
just would call them back after hours and say, "Oh, sorry, I missed your call. Finally, they just left me alone.
Nice.
But I
I
just
like that's
wanted
a great
people to
Beautiful.
have.
technique.
Yeah,
Yeah, just put
Yeah,
the
yeah,
closed sign up and you can come in anyway.
that's
But we
right.
were
yeah.
closed. You told us to say we stay closed. Set
Right. The
aside.
close
I
sign
love
was
that.
there.
Interesting way to stay under the radar, but still be able to serve the community. Well done.
People, thank you. People really needed human touch. People
Oh yeah.
needed hugs. And we had a lot of elderly people coming in just for a hug.
Hmm.
And it didn't bother me at all. We kept people social distance. We cleaned a little bit extra. We were very careful. But I thought my guides did not want um, the center to close. They wanted
Yeah.
people to have access to that. So we stayed open.
I think it's clear that the folks that stayed open and resisted nonviolently clearly were in the right. I mean, every day that goes by, you look back, you're like, these are the people that need to be teaching out there
Yeah.
what to do, because we just witnessed a full court press against freedom, and a full court press involving the fomenting of fear, chronic fear, never-ending fear. And yeah, some succumb to it. Some are still suffering. Some are no longer here with us because of that. But for those that are still here, part of my role and goal is to let them know there's a way out of this mess. You can come back to it. And again, the energetics of it are largely overlooked or ignored in the Western mindset that we have, because it's very reductionist. And you come from engineering. Engineering, there's a bit of reductionism there, although you got to know how things go together. And it's a challenging thing to go into what they call the esoteric side of things and go, well, now you've lost your senses, you lost your mind. I think you've regained them. So
Absolutely.
It was hard. It was hard to go from the engineering mind to hearing people talking about what they experienced inside the egg, how emotions were coming out, how they would experience this beautiful releases of trauma. And some men would say, "What is this salty substance falling out of my eye?" Right?
Mhm.
yeah,
And there was a big burly Marine that came out one time, and he said, "I always talk to God, but in there, God talked back to me."
listen, you could
And he
listen.
started
Beautiful.
crying, and I didn't know, should I hug this guy? I don't know if I should just grab him up like a big teddy bear.
Hmm.
And so it's been such a blessing to see how people are able to heal at such a deep cellular level just from sound and light, without pills, without shots, without surgeries. And I want to educate people that this is possible. And this is how I healed myself.
Beautiful.
But the medical community, if I go break my leg, I'm going to the hospital right now.
Sure.
They'll reset it, but they
Yeah,
won't give you any arnica though. That's the problem. You get it
right.
reset, then get out fast. Help somebody get you out. But
Exactly.
and then utilize. When we talk about homeopathics like symphytum, comfrey, or bone set, there's an energy in the homeopathic realm. Even though as a physical plant, medicinal, you can apply it topically and see tremendous accelerated healing. But the essence or energy of the plant is designed at least for that purpose, among many other purposes. So how long have you been since this harmonic egg? By the way, we're talking with Gail Lynn, harmonicegg.com, I believe it is. And when did this come out? Now it's duplicatable. You have these things, as we were talking before, available in various places around the world.
This came through in 2016 for me, and I was running a light box at the time, and I realized that the box wasn't the most effective way to run sound and light.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 2016, it came out. 2017, I built one, and it just has exploded. We have 140 centers worldwide, 10 countries,
Wow.
and we don't do
Wow.
marketing. It just seems like people are finding out about it. I went to Enterprise Rent-A-Car. She says, "Why are you in town?" I said, "Oh, I'm this crazy inventor of the harmonic egg." "Oh my gosh, my mom uses that."
Oh,
And so
that's
it's
cool.
it's really
That's very cool.
Yeah.
growing organically, and I'm so proud of it, but I
Mhm.
also know it's not mine. It came through me, but it's not from me.
Right. So describe, and Super Don, can you show some of the imagery on the website, what it looks like? And Gail, can you describe a session, what people would expect? Is it wildly different for everybody, or is there a set of music or frequency? I mean, just fill me in.
Well, Jonathan Goldman says frequency plus intention equals healing. So we have
That's right.
frequency plus when you walk into a center, you'll be greeted by a practitioner who will help you set your intention. What is your intention for the day? Maybe it is as simple as, I want to find my perfect job, or you want to get over a chronic illness. So
Mhm.
they'll help you set the intention. They'll lovingly show you the colors that your intention is going to support and the song selection that your intention will be, working with. And they recline you in a zero gravity chair inside of the egg, and they close the door, but don't be afraid if you're claustrophobia. It's larger than the inside of a car or a public restroom. And there's a doorbell in there, so you can ring it if you need anything. You're in there for 40 minutes of music. The lights do not change. Once you set your intention, it is those lights for that session. And then you have the 10 minutes of silence, and they ring a little bell to let you know that they're going to come and open the door and bring you out of this. It's almost like the level below the level of consciousness where time doesn't exist. So many
true
people say,
rebirthing.
yeah,
Beautiful.
right. That's great. That's a great way to put it. People say time doesn't exist. And sometimes I had one 20-year-old guy, and he said, give me my phone. I don't believe it was 50 minutes. And he was like, oh my gosh, it felt like 10.
Yeah.
So it's really cute. But people have a variety of experiences. Sometimes it's tears. Sometimes it's pain where they've had old injuries where the body's trying to repair itself. And sometimes it's a smell. You'll smell molds or heavy metals. And a lot of times with Parkinson's, we'll smell heavy metals. And then they come out and they're not trembling anymore. So we
Nice.
our bodies are so amazing, right? When you reset the nervous system and put the body into the right environment, it can heal itself naturally.
So, Gail, you say it's not yours. I know what you're saying. I mean, it means that it was given to you. You are a conduit, channel for it, whatever. At the same time, you've got to earn a living. I mean, can people buy this, or do they just go to the sessions that have already been created and pay sessions to doctors that have this? I mean, tell me a little bit how that works.
So I have the patents on it and did everything in the 3D earth plane. And people can purchase them and put them in a center. We have doctors, we have medical doctors, we have physicians' assistants, but then we have accountants and people who just want to serve that are maybe semi-retired. They had a career, but they decided I want to serve people and help them with a quality of life. So they can purchase them. And what I created was the Divine Feminine business model. It's of cooperation, not competition, not a franchise, not a patriarchal business model, but where we're all in abundance and we support each other. So I put all the money back into the company, not all of it, for PR, for doing interviews like this, for awareness, so that each of the center owners can be abundant and have clients coming in to be supported and be served by them. And they're all just beautiful egg guardians.
Okay. Well, and so it isn't like you released, I don't know who does that, puts all their plans out for anybody to build it yet. This is a point
open
of source kind of thing, right? That's not happening yet, but
no, I created a PMA and donated all the patents to the ministry, the PMA. It's so that I could protect. Smart. Well, I wanted to protect it from the powers that be, because a lot of, I think, there's going to be people coming out and wanting to capitalize on frequency medicine, but really frequency and music is free. And so there's this device that you can use, but really you don't need it. Beautiful. Once you do a few sessions, you can tune into the energy of the egg. You can listen to the music at home and you can work on your own innate ability to heal. That's all right.
Beautiful. How many of these do you have right now, Gail, in healthy plant-based restaurants around the country?
Yeah.
None.
Oh, so there may be a first here then as well.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
You might have to bring one to Sedona first when you're doing the thing and show everybody that it can happen in a restaurant too, which would be amazing. But I
want to get them there. Yeah.
I like what you're saying. To me, what I'm sensing is sort of like a quickening, an accelerator, because the things that I have learned over my years now, decades now on this planet, from not knowing any of this, not knowing what my cells were telling me, or if they were telling me and screaming at me, it was to go shut them down with a drug, to learn the language of my cells. This is sort of, when I talk about light and sound, I believe those are the twin essences of the Holy Spirit, of divine spirit, right. The life force. That it seems to me that you're able to tap people in so that they can very quickly, rapidly learn that language, much faster than it would normally occur. I guess, and they could always come back if they kind of need a tune-up or something. But if we feel like an urgency about the learning of the language, this may be an accelerator. That's just kind of what's coming to mind for me.
Right.
Absolutely. I've had people, broken bones. We are told, we're hoodwinked to believe that it takes 8 to 10 weeks. I've seen people in a couple of days, the break's not there anymore. I can't explain it. And I've seen so many people just say, oh my gosh, I felt, better overnight. But these limitations are put on how long does it take to heal. It can be instantaneous. It can be miraculous.
Yeah. Wow. Very cool.
It's a very, very powerful product.
So, Gail, when
you.
you're doing this documentary filming in Sedona, is it in studio or will be out in the beautiful, there's so much gorgeous scenery out there. What are you going to do?
Well, filmmaking and trying to shoot outside is always a challenge. You have birds and you have
Yes.
wind. And so we'll probably have some stock footage of Sedona, but we'll be mostly filming inside the World Research Foundation Library. Stephen Ross. We'll have Susie Miller, and we have some amazing naturopathic doctors, neuroscientists, scientists, and then we even have an attorney who left because what she saw was that the doctors were sicker than the people they were trying to help.
Yeah.
And she couldn't stand to be there. So she said, she wanted to be a part of it. And so many people have wanted to be a part of it. I had to close casting. I said, we can't get so crazy. We have 90 minutes and we want to really make an impact to help people to understand what they can do to heal.
All right, Super Don, pay attention to me for a sec. I just want to see that website again. If you could show it on screen. There it is, harmonicegg.com, Wellness from Within. Looks like if you can't buy one outright, which you can, some of you may want to, find a center where you can go and, I guess write it, for lack of a better way to say it, or let it write. I don't know how to describe the experience, but I'd like to try it one day too. But it looks really cool. Let's see, there's all kinds. You can shop books and music. Oh yeah, you have a tab for locations so people can find it and learn a little bit about the energy therapy. And is there any special kind of, I don't know if you do deals or discounts from time to time to kind of get people enticed to get it, but anything you want to share with our audience now that are going, hey, I want 1 or 10?
Right. Well, we have a purchase page. You can inquire there. Usually if you buy 2 or more, I give a discount. I try to help people as much as I can. I want to sell it to the masses, not the classes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's it. When they talk about democratizing things, I know that's not, we define terms accurate, but I think you get the sense of it. That's what I'm liking about what's happening here. We introduced, for instance, the Monocore device, and we've got one now. But I talked about this idea of getting one in your community, chipping in, coming together, like you do that with this, so that you make it available for your family, your friends. It's not isolated in a doctor's office that nobody hears about or then they can't afford. I mean, there are ways to go about this where I think we need to bring healing back into our homes and not have them in these, boxes out there that are so highly regulated that they're suppressed that you never. In fact, in hour 2, I'm going to talk about some of that history of suppression, like with John Richardson, his father, the Laetrile. This is a story, this lost history of the 20th century. Right. The attack on a natural medicine from the plant kingdom. And, as I'm looking through this, I hear this time and time again. The theme is, we would love to be free. We desire freedom. We think it's our natural state. Yet there are people that are somehow corrupted in their view that they would like to dominate others, would like to control others or enslave others. I don't know that we'll ever get rid of that, because maybe this planet is to learn about these things. At the same time, you make a choice, I make a choice, you make a choice, and we start making those choices for freedom. I believe energetically it will overwhelm even those folks that want to hold us and capture us and enslave us.
I
100%.
agree with that 100%, that eventually there'll be so much of us expressing love and exuding love that the ones that aren't are going to be like a Blockbuster store in the corner. No one goes in there anymore because it's become obsolete. Yeah. It's not that it won't even be on people's radar anymore. No one would even think to go into that place because we just don't need it any longer. And once that critical mass happens, which you're part of, Gail, then it's going to explode exponentially, and we're right on the verge. We're right on the cusp of that. So keep up the good work. And to go back to the theme of music and the Beatles, I enjoy the Beatles music too. I think there was a little bit of, and I don't say this negatively, just as an objective analysis, naivete at that time when it was the peace, love, happiness, hippie, and there wasn't a deeper understanding of the machine that controls a lot of things that are on this planet. And so
I don't think we're saying it naively. I know David's not, and that when we talk about this love, it's not the same, oh, that's all we got to do, and we ignore everything that's to our peril.
Mhm.
We have to be conscious of those things too, but not also be subjugated by them.
Sure.
Eh.
Well, keep in mind, ignorance is not love. And so if we try to just compartmentalize those things and be ignorant about them, we're not being loving to ourselves. We need to be all accepting and all encompassing to truly be in love. And
Well, and
then
remember that the Beatles did write the Tax Man. If you guys listen to the lyrics
right.
of that song, they
Sure.
were kind of understanding the
they
system.
got it.
Yeah.
They got it.
Yep, exactly. So, Gail, I really enjoy connecting with you for the first time here. This has been fun.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
if you want to come back, or if there are updates, especially when you're done with this documentary, or if you connect with the chocolate tree, I want to hear about your experience there in Sedona, or if you make it down to Phoenix or whatever. But this, anything else you want to share with the audience before you go? I've got a homeopathic hit I got to do, and all kinds of guests, and David's probably got to do something, but I'm loving having him here too.
I'm going to get up and make you
love
some
it.
dinner in a minute.
Ooh, okay, yes. Yeah,
I'll be
you
right
are.
over.
Right. So, yeah, anything else you want to share that I wouldn't even think to ask?
I just want to say that we need to take our power back, and we are more powerful than our wildest dreams. We can manifest anything we want. We have all the abundance available to us in the entire world, on the entire planet, and we just need to own that.
Ah, wonderful.
Amen.
Beautiful.
Well said.
I've said this, I don't know if I'm not the first to say it, but you and God are a majority. That's it.
That's it.
Right? When people think it's not possible, just, get connected to that spiritual essence, and it gives you life, and you can do extraordinary things, and far more than those that would tell you it's not possible. I think they're kind of stuck in a loop, and I don't hate them for it. I just want to, I want to love them, but sometimes they are rejecting that love, and you need to love them to your own demise either. You've got to learn how to work with that energy as well from a detached perspective. But that's a master class we'll have to get to next time.
Right. Love them and let them go.
Yeah. All right, Gail Lynn, harmonicegg.com. God bless you. Doing great work.
Thank you. God bless you.
Prettiest engineer I've ever seen.
Well done.
Thanks, Gail. Good to have you on.
Bye.
All right, that was fun.